Alright, my friends, next victim. Very, very misleading. 15.50 to 30, that's the power and that's the width of the chute. But this is not a 15.5 horsepower engine. This is one of those newer ones that goes 15.5 foot-pounds gross torque. So it's a 10 horsepower motor. So all over the place, eh? And people that don't know, they say, oh, I got a 15 horsepower snowblower. The owner, or the owner, says that she found a clear fluid underneath. And she thought the transmission was leaking, and I said, no, the transmissions are greased like the old machines. You just put a little bit of grease on each surface wear point. So I really think that the carburetor is leaking. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off all of this Road King plastic that he loves so much, and we'll go to plan B. So these, I don't know if these are going to be metric or standard. It's hard to say. This is one of those machines that's in between. So let's just do this. We'll put you over here. A little crowded in the shop today. Okay, we got 2 of these. We'll probably have every tool in the arsenal out here before we're done. We'll try a 10. Yeah, it's 10. So first of all, in case you have one at home, down there in Florida or Texas, I just took these 2 bolts off the cover for the carburetor. Then I'm going to take these 2 off of here. Oh boy. Already, eh? Ooh. What? I don't like that. Okay, you can watch. Usually you can take those off with your hands. I've had a couple of these in this year. There's the choke right there. Lift it up a little bit. Okay. Oh boy. Let's try this one. This one's got to come off too, right? That one's coming off. Look like 5/16 on there. I might even have to take those off. This little goober is just so you can get out the spark plug. Road King, you'd love this. And it's coming off. But not on its own. Oh, that's a horrible thing, isn't it? It feels like it's been stripped or tightened up so tight. Man, I'm fighting with this thing and I haven't even started the job yet. There we go. I'm waiting for the garage to heat up. Oh my gosh. Did you guys get any of that? Let's get some light on this subject. Okay, this other one should come too then. You might have to get funky here. Oh, I don't understand. That's plastic. Why? Oh, I broke it. Why would anybody tighten up plastic that tight? Now I'm upset. Now the plastic's going to come off and the bolt is going to stay in there. Yep. Yep. Okay, well that's what vice grips are for. Now turn it. I got a smaller set of vice grips though. And they're good ones. Vice grip the original. I reckon my new vice grips. I don't know if that's going to do it or not. Look at that, isn't that sad? I think it's coming. Not that time. So here's my solution. Here's my problem right here. This one's off. This one's not. And it's the vice grips are spinning on there. But now that I did get a quarter of a turn on it, right here. Yeah, you guys can sort of see. Let me try the big boys. See if it's really turning or if it's my imagination. Oh, it snapped off. That's even worse. I can get it out from the bottom though. Yeah, I just got to figure out if I go the wrong direction. Garbage day today. It's spinning. Bringing it out the other side, right? Here or not? No, it's part of the shaft. I'm getting the shaft on this job. This is actually starting to come now. Yeah. It's gonna work. And we're still gonna have threads when we're done. Now it might be the fact that this is attached to the muffler and it's just got so hot over the years that it grew on. Now I'm not gonna have any of these any of these in my hoard, but I might have something with that thread. So let's celebrate when this little stud comes out of here. Maybe we should put this machine out to stud. There it is. Dirty duck. Now if you look right at the end of that, that end is rusted, eh? It's rusted right in. That's a bad sign. I'm not going to bed feeling about this one, Sarge. Just let that hang. Okay, now we can put some goat juice in there and see what happens. It's actually kind of a nice, it's got a lot of good features. A gauge on the tank. With the, you guessed it, the Nicky carburetor on there. Alright. So before we turn this into a mess, this is another one of those that has no shutoff valve. They got a hole for a shutoff valve, but they don't have a shutoff valve. So we're going to get our own homemade shutoff valve. Hemostat, stop! And we'll clamp that gas line off right there. And I'm going to put some gasoline in here. That's what my daughter called it. I wonder if that tank's dirty. Let's just have a little boo. No, it's probably been leaking so much it's rinsed itself out. And I'm starting to get a collection of parts here. So let's just throw a little juice in here. Put in about a half a liter. Good. Never spilt much. Now, one other thing before we release the fuel to the carburetor. Are we turned off, on? What do we got here? Yes. We're turned off. We're on full turtle. We're going to lift it up a little bit. Hang on, guys. Okay. Now, one more little bit of fooling around. Let's use a beer flat. Okanagan Variety Pack cider. There's the garbage guys again. I don't know what they're like in your city, but in our city they only go one direction. They go down the alley and do all of the carts on one side of the alley. They turn around and they do all the carts on the other side of the alley. I don't know, man. So that machine is doing double the work. But they've only got one guy in the truck, right? Okay, what do we got here now? Let's free the fuel. There's a rig there. I don't like it. Be free, my little fuel. Now we gotta wait. I'm gonna turn you off for a little bit. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. No leaks so far. With this unplugged, it opens off the coil, so that's good. It should start. I better put the gas cap back in just in case. Now it's in the air. We got a choke, 3/4 bunny rabbit, 342 cc's. This is a pretty good sized engine. We'll start her up. The button's on this side. That should have started. That made it leak. It should start. Okay, what's wrong? What haven't I done? Just plug that into there and see if it makes a difference. That's interesting. One more try, it's not going to do anything. Let's see if she's getting fuel. Oh yeah, the carburetor's full of gas. Well, I guess we've got to see if it's getting a spark. We're going to go the easy route first on the spark. We'll use an indicator. Right here. Spark plug, where are you? Turn her over and this should flicker. There's a spark. And there's lots of fuel. Maybe we got a loose rocker arm. Geez, I didn't think we'd be getting into the mechanical side of this so soon. I'm just going to use my thumb on the spark plug hole and we'll have a look at the spark plug as well. It should be soaked, okay, with fuel, and it is. So I should feel a puff, 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 puff when I hit that. Make sure I'm not going to get zapped. I should feel a puff when I've got my finger over the hole if I can get it in there. It's a long ways down there. There we go. compression. It's got spark, it's got compression. Let's ground this out and do a visual on the spark. Don't hold it too close to the opening. You can start a fire just by the fumes coming out of that hole. Okay, I'll show you that. I knew we had a spark as soon as... let's get the magic chair. I know Road King, I stole that from you. Road King's got a magic hammer. Exactly like my magic hammer. Okay. But I use this chair all the time. Okay. There we go. Zoom in. We'll ground one end of that. Can you guys see that? Yeah, let's just zoom in a little more. Right in the center of the screen, baby. Can you see? Can you guys see the spark? Oh. There. Now I'm just going to turn this spark plug in, maybe. You know what? Why don't I clean it right now? And then I don't have to go back and do that. That's if I get lucky enough to find out what's wrong with his engine. Clean spark plug. Look at that. I don't think this machine's got 50 hours on it, you guys. Okay. All right. This is an exaggerated show of what happened. The spark plug never threaded in properly. So here is a shot of the top of the head with the top 3 or 4 threads are damaged. I could have used a thread insert on this, but then it will always have that insert and it'll never be like new, not one solid piece of metal. So what I did was I cleaned the head as best I could, and I threaded the spark plug in, as you will see, from the back side of the thread, right? Those are the valves, so the spark plug is now actually re-eating those threads on its way through. And there it is. That's actually from the top of the head looking down, and the spark plug's coming through the opposite direction. And then I turned the spark plug over and rethreaded it carefully into that position, and I left it there. I didn't take it back out. All right, I had you guys turned off. It was a really tight fit, so I just put the old the new head gasket down like that, right? And then there's 2 big pins right there, and I just sat the head on top. I haven't removed the rocker arms or anything yet because I know I can assemble it thus. So there's 2 more bolts left yet. I always thread them by hand first. This is really, actually, this aluminum is so soft it's frightening. And then this one, I have to just make room for myself here. This head bolt goes right inside the engine, eh? So I'm going to cheat on this one. Good. Good, got a new head gasket on. Now I'm going to torque it. It says it's a 277153. When I look on my sheet of paper here, 342 cc's. It's a 3.299 bore. That's my specs right there. And my torque specs are 220 inch-pounds. So my little guy, I think that's right up to the maximum. 200. So I gotta go with my jet. And there's no conversion on this dog. They don't send a conversion sheet. I'll have to look it up on the internet. Anyway, I'm just gonna snug them down to like 10 foot-pounds. We'll start from there. And I like the spark plug in this one because this is the one that had the stripped spark plug. So I'll be right back. I'm going to just check and see what the torque specs are on that head. It's 18.33 foot-pounds. So I'm actually going to go to 20. So my next one's going to be to 15. Good. I'm going to go to 20. 20 foot-pounds. I think the next thing is going to be the push rods. And they're the same on this job. Put the push rod right down on top of the cup. And we might even be able, because it's at top dead center, we might even be able to bring that back over top. Yes, we are. I'm going to leave that there like that, and we're going to just get an 8mm ratchet. I wonder if it's a 5/16. I like 5/16 better. You guys getting this? Yes, you are. That should be loose, and it is. Okay, now we'll do the other one. Don't forget that cylinder is at top dead center, right? Have any of you guys done that this way, or do you always end up taking the rocker right out? Both should be a little bit loose. I'm going to go make sure we're on the power stroke. I should feel it. There we go. Thank goodness. Okay. Intake. Exhaust. Good, I'm going to wait for the intake valve to go all the way down on this one. Power, exhaust, intake complete. Oop, I'll do it again. Feels good. Good. Okay, with that intake down all the way, the exhaust is set at 4 thousandths. I took it apart this way so I wouldn't have to adjust too much. Here we are. Yeah, she's right on the nose of that 4 thousandths. That's pretty flippin' small. 4 thousandths right there. It's the worn out one. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, here we are. I'm at 4 thousandths of an inch. I've got the Allen key set there, and it is metric, 13 millimeter wrench tightener upper. It's funny, where they wear is where they sit. That's right at, that is set right at 3 o'clock. Just tighten this up. Good. And we'll go to a full exhaust now, because you have to watch this because you get a decompression kick on the exhaust valve. You guys watch that really, really close. I'm going to set you up. Where are you? Yeah, you might be able to see that valve do the decompression kick. Watch the top right here when the valve starts to release. I can see it from over here. Oh, there it is there. You missed it already. Okay, so there's a small kick there. It comes back up on the compression stroke. Now we're at top dead center. And then we have fire. And then we have a full decompression. Isn't that ultimately cool? And we're going to be 4 millimeter or 4 thousandths of an inch on this side too. And I rotate it a couple of times. I've got the plug in, right? And you can feel that compression on there. Alright. Now, there's the exhaust valve going down, so when the exhaust valve is all the way down, you know the intake valve has to be, well, okay, let's do it. Good. I'm going to go just playing. I'm just playing. 4 thousandths. Now they should both be loose and they should both be at 4 thousandths. I don't think you can get any better than that. I'm going to button it up. Thanks, guys. Okay. Air tappet cover, valve covers on, muffler covers on, carburetor screwed in. Now on these, I use the smallest little socket I got, and it fits the Torx. This is 5/32, and it just fits on there like that. Look at that, eh? That's something. Whoop, whoop. And you can also do the double nut thing to tighten those up. In fact, let's just demo that. Like that. And you don't want to over tighten it because that is tightening it all the way, there we go. That's tightening it all the way back to that Bakelite right there. All the way through.